Propagating Japanese maple is simple. Of course, you can grow Japanese maple quite easily from seed. They will germinate quite readily without a lot of effort if you just plant the seeds in fall. Another option is, of course, like I've done with this gorgeous Saigon. Look at how pink that is. This was grown from an air layer. But what if you have, for instance, a Shoyo maple and you're like, I would like to propagate this. I don't want to take chances with seed and the tree is too small to take air layers off, but I just want to use one of these branches. Well, then you grow them from cuttings. And growing Japanese maple from cuttings is very simple. This is how you do it. In middle to late spring, you check your tree and you look at how many leaves has this tree grown. This Shoyo has actually only grown 2 pairs of leaves. So this is still quite young. This is too young to take effective cuttings off. This Japanese maple, red wine, is at this stage. They have grown quite successfully. They've been growing for about 6 to 8 weeks and that's the moment to cut them off. Typically this is the end of April or May in the Northern Hemisphere. Now what do you cut? Don't take cuttings from the lower branches, but take them from the upper branches that have extended quite nicely and are nice, strong and healthy. Cut off. Now I use a gel-based rooting hormone for rooting these cuttings. And it doesn't have to be anything spectacular. Powdered also works really well. I prefer to reduce the number of leaves to 1 per pair. And I never use the herbaceous crown tip. This will just rot. Well, this is about 1.5, 2 inches. I'd like them a little bit shorter. 1 inch. Cut the top off, dip them in the rooting hormone and just let this sit to work for a little bit. Do this for all the leaves on this branch. Tuck, tuck, tuck. For substrate, use pumice or vermiculite and make sure it is well watered before you plant anything in there. Make some planting holes, take your cutting and drop them gently into the planting holes and push the holes shut. Time to water again. Over the next 6 to 8 weeks, these will root. The biggest risk now is these drying out. So what I do, I place them in a plastic baggie, for instance a Ziploc baggie, which I close over the top, so it is in a nice, humid greenhouse. Then this goes into dapple shade. They just get a little bit of sun, maybe an hour a day in the early morning, and that's it. And if you do everything right, by the end of summer, you have rooted cuttings, and over summer you can slowly move them into the sun. They'll start growing, and by next year you can plant them out in individual pots. Follow me along, subscribe for more tips on how to grow bonsai.